Now let's start with our chapter 4, constructors. Constructor is an interesting chapter. What are constructors? A constructor is a member method of a class that is called for initializing when object is created of that class. Constructor has the same name as of class. Constructor does not have a return type, not even void. So constructor is basically a member method. But how does it differentiate from a method, and why is it called constructors? Because constructor has the same name as of a class. We cannot write the same name of a method and a class. It will not run. That will be an error. But constructor has the same name as of class to identify that that is a constructor. And also constructor does not have a return type, not even void. It is just required to initialize object. Only one aim for life, initialize an object. So it does not have a return type. Here is an example of a constructor. Class, student, int roll number, float marks, public student, roll number equal to 0, marks equal to 0. So when we create an object of this class, student S1 equal to new student, here automatically S1 dot roll number will become 0 and S1 dot marks will also become 0.0. Okay, for example, if there were 1 and this was 100.0, this will become 100.0 and this will become 1. So constructor has no aim, just one thing, to initialize objects. Now why are constructors needed? Constructors have one purpose, to create an instance of the class or initialize an object. As I said, for example, student S1 equal to new student. So this part, student, is the constructor. We have studied in the in chapter 2, classes basis of all computations, how to create an object, and there we had studied that the last part of declaration is a constructor. So what is constructor? Now we have just learned. Declaring constructors. Constructor is a special method with the same name as of class and no return type. Syntax: access specifier, class name, body. Here there also comes parameter list if there are any. So if any, why I have written, we learn ahead when we discuss the types of constructors. But access specifier is public, private, protected, default. Class name, as I told, constructor has the same name as of class, so it will have this class name, and then comes the initialization. Now types of constructors, as I said, constructors can be of two types: parameterized and non-parameterized. Parameterized, non-parameterized. Non-parameterized, why? Because no parameters. Parameterized, why? Because there are parameters. For example, student marks equal to 0.0. So here S1 dot marks equal to 0.0. But here public student int roll number marks equal to 0.0. So here S2 dot roll number. For example, if we write a if statement, that if we write a switch statement. For example, if this is the roll number, this is the marks, switch 2, this is the marks, switch 3, this is the marks. So then the marks of roll number 25 will be given. That becomes very easy, and we don't have to call another method to give a value to the marks variable. We can give the value, we can initialize marks variable while creating the object. So this is why constructors are needed, and this is how it solves a major problem. Now 4.5, this operator, this is an operator, and it is very important. Why? For example, this is a reference variable used to current object. It is a reference variable that refers to the current object. For example, public class test int I equal to 5, void increase int I plus equal to I, void display system dot parent I. Now if you create object obj of test class, now if you call I, if you call increase and give the value 5, what will it print? It will and you give the value, and you give the value 1, what will it print? It will print 2 if we call object.display. If we call object.display, then it will print 2. Why? Because here I will be taken of this I and not this I will be referred, but object.display it will return 5. Okay, sorry. Here I will be referred to this, the object's I, and here I will be referred to the method's I. So this problem is solved by this keyword. Why? Because when we write this dot I, it refers to the object's I and not the method's I. So this I will be referred to this dot I, and this will become just I. So system.out.println, if we again use object obj2 dot increase, if obj2 is object of this class, obj dot increase 2 and display, so it will display 7, because here this plus I, that is this I, will be increased by this, that is 2. Now comes constructor overloading. As we discussed method overloading, this is the same. Function overloading or method overloading is the same as constructor overloading. Constructor as it is written, constructors overload in the same way as methods. Public student int roll number, public student string name. For example, if you are writing a code where you can where you are giving marks for each student, and you give two options, either you put roll number, either you put a name. So if someone wants to refer to roll number, student 01, if an object is created with the roll number 01, so marks of roll number 1 will be given. But if an object of string name is given path, so marks of path will be given. This was chapter 4. Both the chapters are smaller now. They are very easy. Chapter 4 was very easy. You have to learn, you have to practice some codes, you have to practice some common questions. That will be easy, it will not be difficult, and you have to revise these notes. The notes are available for download with the things I have written with my handwriting. So revise the notes later, and it will, and keep in mind we have to score 100% in computer.